Welcome to the Fleet Geeks podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoy the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook?
Hello and welcome. Today I'm talking about 6 fundamental leadership skills for managers. It's been an interesting time over the past month or so, because literally just this week our team have finished delivering a transport manager or operator CPC course in road haulage, which is training our next batch of transport managers who are going to go off into their businesses and start running their transport operations. Interestingly, in the next sort of few weeks, we're going to be embarking on a full range of ILM, Institute of Leadership and Management, training courses, the level 3 award in leadership and management. And it just got me thinking around how we train people and how we ensure that leaders and managers have the fundamental skills they need to be able to deliver really well in their role and help them perform. So I was having a think about and wrote an article just recently, which is going to be published very soon. And I thought I'd take the learnings from that and create this video for people who would prefer to watch rather than read. So the first key area for a fundamental skill for leaders is about effective communication. Now, that's easier said than done. It's not an easy job effectively communicating with people, but it must be done. They need to practice open and honest and transparent communication skills with their team. And that involves listening well. It involves communicating at every level within the organization, right through from all the different roles that may be present in that organization, and taking an approach where feedback is an opportunity to develop, to be able to embrace any feedback, embrace communication from other team members, and be able to foster a positive and collaborative work environment through really good quality, effective communication skills. Now, that in itself would be a fantastic training course. We do a lot of communication skills training courses for team members at all levels, but it's a fundamental one that leaders must have: a really, really effective communication and ability to be able to listen and take action without judgment. So the second key skill is around decision making. So it's absolutely vital for managers to be able to make effective decisions and have strong skills around effective decision making. They need to be able to take responsibility for those decisions that they do make and be decisive, taking responsibility and making sure they learn from those successes and failures. So taking a decision is one thing, but learning the outcome of that and being able to adjust and adapt and help see where there might have been a failing from that decision, for example, where the opportunities are to sort of move forward. So decision making is about assessing risk. Sometimes there are always imperfect decisions. There's no quite right or wrong answer. At the moment, I have a range of decisions that I need to make, and I'll often look at them and go, there isn't one perfect solution here. So how do I assess the risk of both of these options and actually just commit to making the decision? And I think it's important to make sure that decision making is well informed, so that forms part of the communication process as well, and realizing that often that there are imperfect decisions to be made, but actually to make a decision, stand by it, having taken in and weighed up and assessed the risks of all the options and the potential outcomes of those options as well. And that requires some forward planning and certainly some hard understanding and thinking about the impact that decision may have, certainly on the business and on the people around them. So that's the fundamental key skill number 2. The third that I find new managers struggle with absolutely the most is delegation. So often managers and leaders will be promoted into a leadership or management type role, and they have to start to change the way they see their perspective on how work is done, because ultimately there's new managers have this tendency to often just overload themselves and overburden themselves, and because they're often very good at the role they do from a technical perspective, there's this thought around, well, it's just easier to get it done myself. And particularly in the fleet organizations that we work with, what we often see is this old ethos of, I wouldn't ask anyone to do anything I can't do myself, and also ultimately that if you want a job doing properly, you've got to do it yourself. So they're sort of two things that can sometimes cause a bit of a challenge, because what happens is there's huge amounts of work and setting expectations, and delegating is the only way to be able to achieve positive outcomes for everybody and to keep everyone busy and working to their full potential, because an effective leader and manager will ensure that their team members are coming on a journey with them and they're helping develop those. And the only way to do that is to effectively delegate work and allow people to do that. But to effectively delegate is, one, to recognize the work that needs to be delegated. So that's the key first part of it.
Hello, it's Shani from Flagship Partners. We are really proud to sponsor the Fleet Geeks podcast. If you need expert advice or training for your fleet business, make Flagship Partners your first choice. We are really excited to announce the launch of our Transport Manager Academy. With expert development for fleet leaders, we offer fully accredited initial Transport Manager CPC training, CPC refresher, and operator license awareness training, as well as mentoring, support, and professional development beyond the qualification. Our vision is to develop elite fleet professionals.
Then also learning the right team members who will be able to deliver that, and being able to set expectations and help manage the process, giving clear instructions, setting expectations, and empowering people to be able to make decisions where they need to effectively carry out the task given. And that enables development of the team. So at a high level, delegation is the third fundamental skill that I came up with of the six that I was looking at. The second is around adaptability and flexibility. The fourth even is around adaptability and flexibility. I think adaptability is really, really important. Most organizations and businesses are super dynamic, and people need to be adaptable to change. This flexibility is massively important for managers and leaders. And it's important to be able to incorporate new ideas, think about the benefits that new ideas may have, and not be too regimented in the way that we hold on to our own ideals and our own perspectives of the world, and take into account the way other people see things. And adaptability leads to this emotional intelligence that's really needed, which is the fifth area that I'm going to speak about in a moment. But this adaptability to a strategy, to notice when things aren't going quite the right way, and not just to push through, but be able to just adjust the path and find the right way to move forward and to consider those things. So I'm hoping this is useful. This is the fourth one then, so adaptability. Next up is the fifth one, which is around empathy. And empathy is closely linked to emotional intelligence. Now, empathy is absolutely vital for a leader to be able to, and empathy is very different. When I train this in mental health and in communication skills training, empathy is very different to what some people believe is sympathy. Empathy is about being able to really understand someone else's perspective, because ultimately we've all got our own map of the world, and we've all got our own expectations of what reality is, and our ability to be able to work and cope in the environment around us and in the workplace. Now, it's really, really important that when we speak to our team members, when we deal with customers, clients, and when we deal with our colleagues, that we really put ourselves in their shoes and we have some empathy, which shows and demonstrates real leadership and the ability to properly support people personally and professionally in their roles. I think it's really, really, probably of all of the six skills, one of the most fundamental is having that empathy with people. And the final one, the sixth one that I suggested, was around conflict resolution. Now, conflicts and expectations from different people and where those don't quite align is commonplace in most workplaces. And what tends to happen when there's a conflict is they just get swept under the carpet. Many of our clients that we work with, and many of the organizations I've worked with over time, really do allow sometimes to things to just fester or to be swept under the carpet. And oftentimes having an effective skill at being able to resolve conflict, being able to be diplomatic and fair and listen to all perspectives and be able to implement strategies and to be able to overcome those conflicts, to be able to open communication channels and be able to effectively maintain a healthy work environment and affect that culture, which is what's so important, because culture can be negatively impacted by conflict. So a really, really important skill set is being able to confront conflict and see what's really happening, and being able to properly influence. I suppose off the back of that, there's this seventh one around influence to help improve a situation and move it forward. So they're my six key fundamentals. So just to run back over them, you've got effective communications, one. The second is decision making. The third is delegation. Fourth is adaptability. Fifth is empathy. And the sixth is conflict resolution. And maybe a seventh in there around influence as well. What's your top tip or top skill for a leader or manager that maybe I've missed? I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on those. But otherwise, those are the key skills that I think we should be nurturing in our leaders, and certainly through leadership development and training and those kinds of things, we're able to help nurture one-to-one coaching, mentoring. We're able to nurture those skills which help enable a fantastic culture in our businesses and to be able to help nurture leaders to be able to do a better job longer term. Hopefully that's been interesting for you. If you've got any feedback, if you've got any suggestions, please do put those forward. What's the seventh thing for you? What would be the extra fundamental skill for you? Really interested to take the chat into the comments. And thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you again soon. If you're interested in any of the leadership development or manager type courses that we're offering at Flagship Partners, please do drop an email to hello@flagshippartners.co.uk or have a look at our website, www.flagshippartners.co.uk. I'll put my teeth back in there. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.